Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Two in the Cooler. Thank you, everyone, for listening, for following, for subscribing. Oh, it's phenomenal. We really appreciate it. And if you want to continue to support the show, be sure to check out our merch link in the description of this episode and in our Instagram bio at Two in the Cooler. We've got hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, pint glasses, bucket hats, all kinds of great stuff, not just for this show, but also for Schemin' and Dreamin', the other show that we produce right here. We've got logo merch, Matt Can't Read stuff, hashtag pizza tipping, and this merch, I really want to make this clear, this is not like the cheap merch that a bunch of other shows and places buy, where they buy like a bunch of bulk stuff, do a quick print on it, and you get it. It's super cheap material and doesn't even fit right. It shrinks in the wash. No. Okay? I respect you too much to do that, okay? To go for some kind of crazy money grab like that. No. The stuff at our merch site is top notch. I'm talking Target quality, tri-blend material, folks. You can take a look at that at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Like I said, the link's going to be in the description and in our Instagram bio. Again, that's snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Thank you guys for supporting the show. It's that time of the month again, folks. What a weird way to start this one off. But it is the Smackdown live party. It is happening next weekend on Twitch at 8 p.m. That's February 11th at 8 p.m. We are going to be live on Twitch with Schemin' and Dreamin', watching WWE Smackdown. The Twitch handle there is snackspot_SE. The link for that is also going to be in our Instagram bio, as well as the Schemin' and Dreamin' Instagram bio. The belt is on the line, folks. Am I the only person who has won the belt twice at this point? Yes. Does that matter? Absolutely, because I'm spectacular. But it's going to be a brutal showdown this time, and it's going to be a lot of fun. That's on Twitch at snackspot_ the letter S, the letter E, a WWE Smackdown watch party. We'll see you guys there. It's been winter for what feels like forever now, and for some reason, it doesn't seem like it's slowing down, okay? Winter storms are still rolling in. It's still fucking freezing outside. You don't want to leave the house, okay? Especially not to go to the grocery store, the worst place ever. There's people crashing carts into each other. It's the rudest place in the world, I feel like, is the grocery store. It's absolutely horrendous. Forget all of that, okay? You don't need the headache. You can just use Instacart. With Instacart, you'll get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. And the best part is, right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. That's right, all you gotta do is spend $10, Instacart will deliver it right to your front door, okay? How many times have you gotten home from the store and realized, fuck, I forgot that one little item. It's not a huge deal, but I really fucking need that. And you have to turn around. Guess what? You don't, because you can just use Instacart. Again, that's free delivery on your first order of $10 or more. Just hit the link in the show description. Get yourself that deal. Start using Instacart today. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show, Schemin' and Dreamin', you can email snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Folks, obviously, podcasting has boomed a lot in the past couple of years, and that boom has started to gain the attention of big advertisers like State Farm, Tropicana, blah, 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 etc., okay? These large companies are getting in on the action, and I gotta be honest with you, it makes me a little mad, okay? Because it's time for local businesses to start getting in on the action, and there's no better way to do that than with us, just being honest. So if you're interested in more details about podcast advertising and all of its benefits, reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com.
Okay, just let me know when we start rolling, everyone. But
now we are.
Okay.
I didn't see.
Logos are down.
So the photo, it was sad that Bob Saget died, obviously. But it really didn't hit me until seeing the photos of his funeral, because John Stamos and Dave Coulier, Uncle Jesse, and what was the other? Uncle, what's his name?
Alan.
Uncle Alan.
Alan? Who's Alan?
Uncle.
There's no Alan.
Wasn't it just Uncle Joey?
Joey.
Yeah, Joey. But they didn't call him Uncle Joey. They called him Joey.
Did.
No.
Well, the kids called him
Joey.
Uncle Joey because they were.
Is he the blonde guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dave
he's blonde.
Coulier.
Yeah. Detroit Red Wings guy.
Detroit Red Wings guy,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. And they were his.
Lived in the basement.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
No,
Yeah.
he lived. Okay, so remember when, remember the living room set, right?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
So there's the couch, and then behind the couch there was that little nook,
Yes.
and
yep.
that's where he lived because the puppet would always sit back there, the woodchuck puppet. Yeah.
I thought the staircase was behind the couch.
The staircase is to
the door.
If I'm the set,
Yes.
watch me. Here's the couch. Here's Uncle Joey. Uncle Joey's right here, and then here are the stairs, and then there's the front door. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So the TV is facing, or the living room is set up facing the door,
to
No.
TV.
facing the door, the wall that the door's on.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the couch.
Yes.
You're watching the set, right? So here's the couch. The front of the couch is that way.
Yes.
Here's the door. Here's the front door of the house,
And the staircase is right here.
and the staircase right here.
Door.
Staircase, nook, couch, kitchen.
So
kitchen
his
door.
nook is under the staircase.
Yes, I guess technically, but it's
In
not
the
like
fucking
right.
basement.
It's not like
One of them lives in the basement.
no. Uncle Jesse lives in the attic, the opposite of the basement.
I'm pretty sure the room
Oh,
that you're
you're
thinking of
right.
is in the fucking basement.
We're talking about 2 different seasons of Full House.
No, shut the fuck up.
No, he does, dude. You. I'm so
How many
sorry.
people are living in this house?
It's
All
very
of them.
full.
That's and that's the premise of the
Yeah.
show.
Mhm.
Olivia,
That's why it's
thanks
called Full
for
House.
being here. And
I
talking
finally
to us,
understand it.
talking about the Full House set with us. The
What-
production designer of Full House is coming on next week. Actually, we're getting him in here.
One thing what did I just learn today? I just learned a good TV fact today.
It was a movie fact. You learned
movie
that the
fact.
reason that the movie Air Bud is
It's
called
called Air Bud
Bud
was because he plays basketball
plays
like Air
basketball.
Jordan.
I knew that.
Like Air Jordan. Yeah, of course.
didn't
Everybody
fucking know
knows
that.
that except this guy.
Well, I thought that Air Bud. Don't say a word. I thought that the first Air Bud was where he played football. The second one was basketball, but I've been informed that Air Bud 1 is basketball. Air Bud 2, Golden Receiver,
Yeah,
is football.
that's correct.
Hence, Golden Receiver being the name.
Yes.
I learned that today.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way,
Yeah, thank you. I want
everybody's up to date on Air Bud
snap
and Uncle Joey. Thanks for coming and talking with us, Olivia.
Thanks for having me.
I wanted to start with this because it's a thought that I had the second I first heard your voice, and I have not been able to get out of my head since. You sound the way I think a lot of people think they sound and want to sound.
Really?
Yes.
I've never had someone tell me that before.
Well, it's kind of like that thing of when I'm stealing this example, but it's like that thing of when you see a guy who is like a boxer, and you're like, oh, this guy's like boom, boom, boom. And then you see like a legitimate boxer, like a Floyd Mayweather, and you're like, oh, no, that's boxing. That's what your singing reminds me of. Like, you have got it.
Thank you.
And especially watching the videos of you live, it's like, oh, okay, so you don't just sound like that when you record. Like, you sound the same when you're doing it live. And that is something that is pretty tough to do, I imagine.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of different people, I think, in this city that are trying to sound like each other. And ever since I was little, I knew that I kind of had a different sound that, even though I didn't actually officially establish until a couple years ago, because I was on the pop wave for so long, I would just write pop songs and sing pop songs and pop covers. All I would do was pop, and people tried to get me to do Broadway and musicals and stuff, and it's just like after trying to just do that stuff and then being in the summer camps, it was fun and everything, but it was totally not my thing. I'm not Broadway, I'm not Ariel, I'm not musicals.
Yeah.
I never got a lead role in the musicals in high school, never. And I think it took a lot of I think it made me very singled out for a long time, because I would get super sad when I'm I just tried so hard and prepared and rehearsed for that lead role in the musical, and it was kind of, I think, maybe even based off favoritism a little bit, which is cool because if you want to do that, then do that, but I'm still gonna single myself out because I know that I'm not like them and stuff, and I just feel like I kind of had a different sound my whole entire life. So that being said, I kind of created that sound, and I just kept being myself. And then after doing that, I finally established my 3 sounds, which is pop, hip hop, and R&B.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you.
I would definitely consider the new album that you have. It was hard for me to. I was listening to it, and I was like, I don't know exactly what this is, but I was like, it does sound a little pop, but there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah.
And I think and then I was thinking R&B because I was like, I'm getting kind of emotional listening to this. Like, why is that? Probably because the R&B.
Yeah, I mean, there is, like, I do soul as well, but I just don't have that out. Like, I don't make soul music, but if you ask me to sing a soul song, like, I can get that for you and do that. But, like, my producer had, like, the same type of reaction when I first met him and when I first started recording with him and working with him. He was like, I don't know, like, what to categorize you as. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
So we're going to put you in like a pop hip hop mix, but you like also can do R&B, rhythm and blues. And so we worked with that. And I was lucky enough to have him do 2 of my songs. There's like a bunch of different producers on the album. So they're all very talented though. And I like how the album came out. We were actually supposed to have more songs on it. I was trying to shoot for like 9 or 10. But we just didn't get there. I was running out of time. I kind of tend to tell myself, like, if I don't drop my music by this certain date, then it's not going to come out. Because literally, I don't like to be in a rush for things, but I don't like to take too much time on things. I feel like I need to pinpoint myself a date, or else it's never going to come out. I got to stop lagging and stop dragging and stop slacking time. So we shot for January 14th, which was a couple weeks ago. And so it came out. It was 7 songs. Like, it's not too long, not too short, but who's listening to 20 songs on an album anyways? You know what I mean? Like, when was the last time you really ever listened to 20 or 30 songs on an album?
You're looking at the wrong guy as far as listening to music.
Not since the 70s.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, when I found out you were coming on, we are lucky enough to have a lot of different people in music come in here. A lot of people, mostly rappers, come in here, and really talented rappers and saying they're all rappers, it might even be kind of disrespectful because there's so many different sounds like you talk about within the different people that we've had in here. But when Andrew told me you were coming on, and he was like, yeah, like she's a singer, like she makes music. And I was like, oh, like she sings because we don't have a ton of people that come in here that are like really, really good singers. And singing has always been something that is fascinating to me because I am so not even close to ever being good at it. Mm-hmm. You could waste billions of dollars on trying to put me through like different classes and teach me how to sing, and I would still be a horrible like singer. I have the worst voice possibly of all time.
Yeah, it's bad.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that, Matt, because I can tell you right now, I'm living proof of what he just said, about putting billions of dollars into vocal lessons and then having him not turn out good. Because when I started singing, I started singing like when I was literally 2, as soon as I was born, like I was like screaming, singing and all that. So I always knew that I could sing, but I started like getting into dance class like lessons when I was like 3 years old. And I just always like did dance, and I did dance from like I was 3 till I was like 9. 9 years old was when I first started like thinking to myself like, oh my God, like something's like happening in me, like I don't want to do dance anymore. Like, I want to sing. So it was like one day when I was like 9 years old, and my mom picked me up from my dance class, and we were walking out to the parking lot. And she goes, how did it go? How was your dance class? And I was like, good, but I don't want to dance anymore. I want to sing. And at that moment, like in my life, I know it's like so weird to like think about, but like looking back at like, 10 years ago, I cannot believe like that was like the start of like a journey that like I'm still on. And had I not like done that at that time, I would not be like where I am today. And so it's like, like just to make that switch. And I was like literally ever since that day, I stopped taking dance. I signed up for vocal lessons right away. I was 9 years old. I took vocal lessons once a week for an hour. I had a couple different teachers, and they enhanced my voice so much. So, like, getting back to what you said.
Maybe my dream's not dead.
It is, Matthew.
But getting back to what he said, though, like, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to put it, like, right on the table, whether people like it or not. You have to have it, like, in order to, like, enhance your voice.
Yeah.
If you have it, you will go so far. If you don't, the lessons will get you nowhere. So, like you said, billions of dollars came through. It came through for me.
Right, because you had it.
The problem
God gave me it.
And it was that was very obvious from like anybody who hears you sing is like, this is someone who has been singing for a very long time. and has a natural gift.
And understands they can
Matthew
sing.
has the exact opposite.
Here's
of
the
that.
problem, though. I have such
have
charisma
class.
on stage. You put me on a stage, oh my God, like nothing anybody's ever seen before. It'll sound horrible, but people will have a blast. This is a completely unrelated question, and it makes no sense, but when you decided to stop dancing, do you think, and this, I don't know if this makes sense, but do you think that was something your mom was like pumped about, or did she really like dance?
Well,
Because I feel
my
like
mom,
parents hate dance. Just saying.
Yo, set me up right now, bro. Literally, my mom hated dance so much. She couldn't wait till I got out of there. She literally.
That's a good parent.
Because
Mom?
I feel
if
like
you're a parent that likes dance,
Yeah.
you're a shit parent.
well, not
Yes,
necessarily,
thank you
but
so
because
much.
No, you are.
I
You
feel
are.
like
Dance moms?
the way that exactly,
Case in point.
and I feel like the way that dance works is you're like a 5-year-old person, and they're like, oh, you should start dancing, and then by the time you're 10, it's like they got like, oh, I'm doing jazz on Monday nights, tap on Tuesday nights, ballet on Thursday nights, hip hop
guy.
on Friday nights,
Right.
and you're dancing like 9 out of 7 days a week, and your parents are miserable. And
Thank
they
you so
resent
much.
you for it.
Like, thank you so much
So-
for saying that.
Well, I've never been to like a
Neither have I.
child's dance
But
recital,
I've
but
heard
I've only,
firsthand
Yeah,
people who have had kids dance be like, never let your kids
I've only
dance."
heard terrible things
And I'm
about
like,
it.
yeah.
But you're not wrong though. Like, okay, so what you see on Dance Moms, I never really watched Dance Moms. I've seen
You
clips.
watched it,
I
right?
used to. Yeah, I was a
I
big
never
Dance
really
Moms
saw
guy.
it either.
It's
Reality
a
TV
riot. It's
oh,
a
yeah.
riot.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, but it's so like bad in the way that like you literally have children like you're screaming at children like over literal just
Hysterical.
dance. Like
Yeah.
it's like they take it so seriously, and like I get it because do I take my music and singing seriously? Yeah, of course, but not when I was 9 years old. When I was 9
Yeah.
years old, I was singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow in nursing homes like locally. Like I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't going on Broadway or going to LA when I was 9 years old. I wanted to, but it's like one of those things where when you're young, like you want to do everything when you're young and like you're 10 years old, 12 years old, and you're like, I'm going to go to LA, I'm going to go and be on Broadway, I'm going to go to New York City. And it's like, no, like you need to like, just like wait, like be patient, like your time will come sort of thing. And like, that's what I've done. But like, yeah, getting back to dance, my mom dreaded like the dance moms. It wasn't like the dance or like me like wanting to go take dance lessons. It was literally the moms that like me and my mom are like the same type of person. Like we kind of are different in the way that like we don't really fit in like one certain spot, and I think it's because we're kind of like singled out. I mean, we kind of tend to like isolate ourselves a little bit, like we are essentially the same person. But when she would go to my dance class and she's like wait in the car, like these moms are like I'm not messing with them today, I'm not
Yeah.
taking with them today. So yeah, you're right. When I stopped doing dance, it was like hallelujah.
But on the flip side of that, though, and this is something that I don't know, and I kind of wanted to ask, and you talked about it a little bit. So when you start taking singing lessons, and the one thing you said earlier was summer camps, and I feel like that's the one thing I knew is like, oh, like you can go to summer camps to learn how to sing. And I don't know if that's true, but to hear you say that, you know, the musical kind of style wasn't really your thing, but you still, it seems like, kind of had to go through that, even though it necessarily wasn't what you loved.
You bring up, Olivia, you brought up a point about that I'd never thought, is that so many kids who like music and singing, their first foray into music, and a lot of times their only option is musical theater at like school and stuff.
Yes.
And that is definitely not for everybody. I
No.
mean, obviously, case in point.
You're so right, and I'm glad that like you guys brought up that point because you're right. Like every child's first foray is definitely like the musical stuff, and I mean,
Well,
yeah,
Disney as well, right? That's basically animated musical theater.
yeah, exactly, and like Disney, and I think that all comes with childhood. But then again, it's like I feel like you kind of as a child have to do the things that you know everybody does to like start off, and then like eventually as you get older you're going to find your way and you're going to find your path and find your sound, and that's kind of what I did. But like yeah, I did take vocal lessons so since I was like 9 from I think like till 18 or 19, so like almost 10 years of vocal coaching and lessons and doing songs. And we actually started off with like the musical songs and like you know the Broadway and Ariel and all that. And, you know, then I kind of ventured off into, I can actually do, like, classical Italian, too. So, like, not like opera, but, like, I sing, like, Italian and stuff.
That, you know, the song that
Ave-
everybody knows?
Ave Maria?
Yeah, that one.
Mhm. I was actually just singing it today, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, it's like,
Stepbrother style. Yeah, stepbrother style. Mhm.
so, yeah, it's like, you know, we did that. And then eventually I started writing my own songs when I was, like 10 or 11 or whatever, and then I started coming into the music store with my own songs, because I was like, I told my vocal teacher, I said, like, no hate or anything, like, but I just want to like focus on my own songs, and like, can you help me, like, not write them, but just help me like do my voice on them and enhance my voice and everything. And so it's like, yeah, when you're a kid, you kind of get involved in like that musical stuff that kind of everybody, I feel like, wants to do when they're a kid, but then when like they grow up a little bit, they're like, oh, what am I still doing?
You started writing your own music though when you were pretty young?
Yeah, like literally, I'm pretty sure I wrote my first song when I was like 9 or 10, and literally they're not bad. Like I actually have to say that I think they're better than like the songs that girls my age write like today, like at their age now.
I still have some like what are they called? Not diaries, but like journals that you would write in like elementary school.
Yes.
And I wasn't even speaking English at 9 or 10. I'm still barely speaking English. So good for you. What are you looking at me like that for?
Just no reason. I'm just proud of you. You come so far.
I know.
Still can't read, but we're working on it every day.
I'm a good writer now, though. Not music. Not music.
I used to write. It's funny that you say that, because I actually, like, I always wanted to, like, write stories and stuff, and, like, be, like, a director, like, just write, like, scripts and stuff and monologues and all that. I was a big, like, acting, like, person, like, years ago. I told my mom when I was 10 years old, it was, like, when I go to college, like, as soon as I graduate high school, I'm moving to California and I'm becoming a director in LA. And that vanished very quickly as soon as I found out LA was probably like the biggest city and so expensive, and I'd be there all by myself. So that vanished. So
yeah, that's a big deterrent.
That's why I don't go to LA. Yeah, right. I'm very afraid of
I've
it.
never
but
been.
It makes sense that you say that though, because your songs are stories. The one in particular, it's what is it? It's is it Take Her Out or
Took Her Out?
Took Her Out. I'm like, oh, this is like a whole thing, that song.
You listened to it?
I've listened to your album 3 times now, I think, at least.
That is so nice.
Well, it's very good.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's no like reviews on it online.
The only thing I'll say is that Andrew sent it to me on Spotify, and I had to go look it up on Apple Music because I don't like Spotify.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't even have a Spotify. I don't use Spotify.
So I've listened to an Apple Music, not Spotify.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't.
Apple Music.
I feel like that's like
that's a very hot take. A lot of people are pro Spotify.
They are. They love Spotify. I'm like, I don't like Spotify.
Like, it's got all these cool features. I'm like, I haven't listened to a song like outside of listening to it for a reason in years.
Is there any reason, like, from an artist standpoint, that you don't like Spotify in particular?
Well, I think because I literally have had like an Apple iTunes account since I was like 10 years old.
Right.
That's how I am, it's just easier. I think it looks cleaner on the app. Spotify, I'm not saying it doesn't look clean, but like there's all these like buttons that like I just don't need to use.
Too many
and like
features.
I don't need to sign up like for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, I don't
Play
know.
button, pause button. Also, I hate when I don't like people's phones when they're in dark mode. Do you know what I'm talking about? I like some people are like, well, it hurts your eyes. I don't care. I want the brightness in my face.
Interesting.
And that's why I don't like Spotify. It's too dark.
Yep.
I feel a little attacked right now, but that's just me. I know that's not your guys' fault. Those are my own issues.
For the Spotify take or for the dark mode take?
Both of them.
Because people that keep their phone in dark modes, I get it. I hear you, but it's not how it was meant to be. It was like, do you remember when like
I don't know
the like third or fourth generation iPod Touch came out and you could make it all like reverse colors, you know what I mean?
Oh my god, like the triple threat?
Yeah, yes.
Oh my god,
yeah. Like you click it 3 times and your whole screen would turn like blue, black, and orange.
Do you not know what we're talking about?
Yeah,
you guys, I feel like what's happening right now is like,
Wait, are you a 90s baby?
Yeah, well, so is he.
I'm not. We're on the same page right now.
Yeah.
Because like my brother downloaded the triple hack on my phone and like all these other cool hacks, and there would be like, I'm pretty sure there would be like a. Like
I'm trying to think of the word. You know what it would look like? It was like when you're looking at something through a thermal scope.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's
why
what
would you want that? Why
I don't know.
Nobody should.
Predator on
Nobody
your phone?
should. But I remember doing it.
Yeah.
And maybe it was so difficult to use, and that's why I'm anti-dark mode. Mm-hmm. But also, I don't really like change. I'm a very routine-oriented person.
Right? Yeah, so I feel that. I like that. I like people who are like that. I don't like people who
stick
switch up
to
a
the
lot.
stuff you know.
That's right.
Save it, kid. Save it.
Sorry. Is that foreshadowing? Be honest with me.
I think if we were to ask, I was gonna say J.K. Rowling, but not gonna mention because of the trans stuff. It's controversy noted, but some other author, I feel like they would say,
what?
Yes,
I'm trying to think of an author. What's the one?
Stephen King.
No.
Frank Herbert.
What are those books
James
that old
Patterson.
people... Yes, James Patterson. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
James Patterson. James Patterson would say foreshadowing.
Absolutely. When you were... So, you quit dance, all about singing. When you started bringing your own songs to this vocal teacher that you have, were they like, yeah, all for it?
Yeah, they were all for it because I think they knew like it was kind of like putting me through so much pain to keep doing like the Broadway stuff and the musical stuff. And I just told him at the moment I was like, I really, it's just like not my thing anymore, and it's just not. I mean, I'm sure you guys can relate, not through like singing or anything, but there's just something that like either somebody wants you to do or do with them, and it's like, you know what, it's really not my kind of thing. I'm just gonna have to like pass, I'm just gonna have to miss out. Sorry, but it was just kind of like that, and yeah, then I started bringing my own songs in, and like they were more pop like in the beginning. My EP Hyperactive, which was released January 1st of 2020, so like 2 years ago. Though that is 4 songs, and if you want to listen to like a really sad song, like if you guys are really
Don't
like,
do it, cry. Don't do it. I can't handle it.
If you guys are like really down in the dumps, and it's like if it's a rainy day, you have to play it. You have to play my song 913. It's probably the saddest song.
Oh yes.
Like ever. Like it literally still makes me sad. But it's just like a really raw, rough, sad song, and we did it in literally one take. And so I did. That's like a pop song, but it's like literally my only sad song. But yeah, so we did like pop songs and stuff, and I bring them in and we do like the piano to it, and then I get in the studio and then I do it. So it's kind of like a mixture, because when I was like growing up though, I would always sing like, soul songs and like R&B and stuff. But then when I would write my own songs, I would write pop. So, but now it's a mixture. Now it's pop and hip hop and, rhythm and blues.
What?
You got a POV.
Yeah.
That's an album reference.
POV for song on the album.
And speaking of the album, so it just came out in January, right? So it's
January
pretty much
14th.
brand new. Yeah, not even a month
new.
old. And you said earlier, like, oh, like, thanks. It's not like nobody leaves reviews and stuff like that. So is that something that, how do you then kind of critique your own music? Like, are you hypercritical, or are you kind of like, what, I like it, let's put it out there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that, because like, yeah, there isn't really like reviews on like albums and stuff. Actually, I think when I was doing the paperwork for my album a couple months ago, it never asked me like how much I wanted to like put the album for. Like for my Hyperactive EP, I think it's like $3.99 like iTunes. And then I go on iTunes, it doesn't say a price. So I think I like don't have a price for my album, which is like so bad, but I don't even know if I can fix that. If not, oh well, who buys music anyways nowadays? But so yeah, back to what you were saying. I think all of that that critical kind of format stuff, it happens in the studio, like either before like I write the song, like basically, the reason why I don't release too much music is, you ever see these artists, they just put out so much music. They're pumping it out every week, every day, every hour, and it's trash. And that is because they don't critique themselves. And I think coming from an artist, I think everybody should know, even though I'm still young, you got to get people's opinions. I always get like my mom's opinion. I mean, my mom literally hears all my songs anyways, so she'll know. She'll be like, oh, like, I really like that part, or like, that part's kind of like, So I always have like her opinion to rely on and stuff, and I'll send it to my friends sometimes, but mainly it's my producer who tells me what he thinks of it. But all of that criticism from myself in my head comes like in the studio, or like even when I'm like at home writing and stuff. And so it's kind of just based on like myself. And the thing is, like you said, Matt, if people don't like it, then like that's not my problem. There is like 5 other billion artists in the world that you can listen to. Like, you don't have to listen to my music. No one's forcing you to. No one's like forcing you with Chinese, water torture like to my album. So
which is not a bad marketing tactic.
Sure, I think a lot of people would actually really want to do that at a certain point.
Yeah, so
they'd want to listen to music while getting Chinese water torture. What is Chinese water torture?
I mean, there's a couple. I mean, it's
a couple variants.
Are you familiar with Himalayan water torture?
No.
It's a little bit like that, but just a touch different.
I'll do some Googling.
Yeah, look that up on your own time.
Yeah, sounds good.
But yeah, so it's like, if there's no really like reviews or whatever, or comments, but like I get a lot of people messaging me and contacting me every day with like screenshots of them with like their favorite song. They're like, oh my god, this is my favorite song, like please, like like keep like make more songs like this. Or like a lot of my friends will actually send me videos of them like singing or like listening or dancing to my song, and which is like nice because it's like, oh my god, like somebody's like playing my song, actually like listening to my song and like dancing to it or singing to it and stuff like that. And I just love like that feeling when I get those videos, and it's like then I repost them and be like, thank you, thanks for your love and all that. But it's like the other thing too, I think, is I don't know if you guys have like ever talked about this topic on your podcast before, but TikTok. A lot of people have been telling me, they're like, oh, what's your TikTok? What's your TikTok? I'm like, I don't have a TikTok. They're like, you don't have a TikTok?
Gotta
And I'm
get on
like,
TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok because it's run by China. So that being said, like, you guys can go take my
and the
songs.
water torture. Yeah, because the water torture. Right.
You guys can go take my songs and you guys can go play them on TikTok on your account. But I'm not downloading the app on my phone. I don't want to know what they do when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
The app is
we
through my
have
phone.
a Two in the Cooler TikTok.
Do
We
you?
make Emily run it so that she has to deal with.
The Chinese love Emily.
Yeah.
They cannot get enough of Emily. They're all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hack the shit out of her. That's what happens when you work here.
Yeah. It's like Yeah.
Like what?
I was gonna say
nice.
I was gonna say like rookie initiation, but I feel like that made it sound too mean. Like low man on totem pole, Emily, run the TikTok.
If Emily's higher up on the totem pole than you are.
No,
yeah,
no,
she is. We've established that.
No, we've. Is that what it's called?
A totem pole.
A totem pole.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah. Watch yourself, kid.
As Emily turns me down.
So, like, how are you guys on TikTok? Like, I'm sorry, I know you're supposed to be answering their questions,
we are pretty inactive on TikTok.
Oh,
I would
okay.
say.
I wasn't sure if you guys had like 50,000 followers. Or something like that.
We have not really figured out how to I don't know, because
the algorithm.
You have to it's just different from Instagram and stuff.
It is different.
And I feel like
you have to have a different kind of
and there's
content
thing
on there.
and I was joking when I said the algorithm, but I definitely think it's true that there's things on TikTok that increase your chances of being seen,
sure.
right?
Well,
right.
And
you want to know a tidbit?
Sure.
I think this will be an interesting fact.
Sure.
What is it? Payola. Are you familiar with Payola?
No.
Payola. I can't believe I'm telling it. I'm
What is
sorry I'm
Payola?
telling it this way. So Payola, back in the days of radio when it was a huge deal to have your song. It still is, of course, but back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s and stuff, record companies would pay radio stations to play an artist's music. Oh. TikTok does that.
Really?
Record companies pay TikTok to have their biggest stars or whatever,
or like their sounds be
the sounds of like their song. Like I mean, well, never mind. I won't name anything specifically, but there's some of those really popular songs with like that a lot of people are doing those dances.
Yeah.
They paid for like those songs to be bumped up in the algorithm and
Didn't
stuff.
know that.
Yeah.
China, man.
I mean, I think TikTok is, the platform is really just, it's based for people who have absolutely no talent, just, white girls doing white dances and with no talent, and that's how they get famous and big. And sometimes I feel like you got to be a certain person to support that, and then you got to be another certain person to look down upon that.
Well,
so.
there's all kinds of other stuff
I was
on
going to
there
say,
as well.
there's a lot of different sides of TikTok. Like, if I was on that side of TikTok, I probably wouldn't spend much time on TikTok. You know what I mean?
It depends what side you're on.
I was gonna say, I don't know that I've seen somebody dance on a TikTok, and I don't.
What? You've never seen somebody?
I mean, I have, but like it's not what comes up on my TikTok. My TikTok is like people getting like hit by buses and shit like that. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know you were gonna say that.
I thought you were gonna say like cooking stuff because there's.
I was gonna say it's like dark humor, DIY.
Dark humor? Is that what you call getting hit by a bus?
Yeah, that's the definition of dark humor. Would you not agree with me?
I mean,
that's pretty dark.
Yeah, that's dark. DIY, a lot of DIY stuff. I'm a big DIYer. And then sports. That's pretty much the
sports. Right. Yeah.
But is it so much different from a lot of other social media platforms and like people that get big on there, right? Or even like think about MTV and their kind of reality show revolution. Like, if you ask anybody, maybe now I guess folks don't care, but when Jersey Shore was like huge, right? If you asked anybody,
Jersey Shore. Okay, I'm sorry.
phenomenal. I have never watched that show.
I've watched like probably every season, every episode, multiple times. Is that the theme song? Because I didn't know that.
That's actually the parody theme song. If you look up like on YouTube,
See?
Jersey Shore like parody theme song, or not Jersey Shore like parodies. This guy like does all these hilarious. I'm talking like hysterical Jersey Shore parodies with just like all the characters with like Snooki and like just. It's hilarious. I'm pretty sure they're like probably 10 years old now because I was watching them when I was like 10. So, but they're literally hilarious. And the fact that like the actual Jersey Shore cast is like Italian like me literally just makes it so much better.
When they first started back up, like the very first Jersey Shore family reunion, I threw a party for Jersey Shore family reunion.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was this party?
I can't say that. But
And why was I not invited? We didn't know.
I
just found out about you guys a couple months ago.
Yeah, that would have been tough. But it was a blast. Yeah.
But what I was saying was, when that show came out, everybody was like, these people have zero talent. Why are they so famous?
Because it's funny.
Right. Technically, I mean, and it's kind of like the Kardashians, too. I mean, why are they famous? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that question that if you don't like know them, you've never seen them in your life before. Like, oh my God, these people are famous. What do they do? Oh, absolutely nothing. Okay.
Right.
Well, okay. At least I know that now, you know?
Well, if we track that back.
O.J. Simpson played a role, and so did...
Okay, the father.
Ray J, right?
Ray J.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did Ray J play a part?
He was the guy in the sex tape with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
And
Right,
he
but
leaked it, I think.
OJ, I mean, at least the father made everybody known.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Robert
Yeah.
Kardashian, the lawyer.
Well, yeah, it was
got OJ.
OJ, yeah. Got OJ
Who got OJ out?
OJ was
Am I
innocent.
Right?
OJ
I
got
right?
himself
Yeah,
out.
but he's still right.
Well, he was
Justice.
he not still in he was in a
you're
trial?
correct.
Am I right though?
You are correct.
Am I right? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
correct. Okay.
The 100% legitimate justice
Listen,
system.
I
Not a single
studied-
flaw. Not a single flaw.
I studied this case in high school. Okay,
Oh,
it
did
was
you
like
really?
sophomore or junior year. We did like a whole like 2 or 3 months on it. We studied with like all the evidence and everything.
Yeah.
so-
I watched part of the HBO series.
ESPN.
ESPN.
Oh, well,
Well, they
the
did both.
show was FX, and then
Oh,
the
FX.
documentary was ESPN.
Oh, so I was wrong on both
Which,
accounts.
before those things like came out, and there was kind of this resurgence of like the OJ fever. You know, you hear people talk about it and stuff, and I wonder if you were like this before you had to do these projects. I was like, okay, OJ, very famous trial. I don't get it. And then I watched this documentary, and I was like, oh, now I realize why everyone was so obsessed with this. Like, it was crazy.
It was a crazy time. I mean, I was probably like so little when all this happened. Obviously, not
I don't
even
even
born,
know.
but
Yeah, that's pretty little.
looking back at it now, like, you know, I think there's so much to it. Like, you know what I mean? You're either
For
on
sure.
one side or you're on the other side. So, you know.
Yeah,
I've got some theories, but I think I've expressed them before.
you have.
Yeah.
You have. Classic OJ.
He was at Highmark a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I
Did
was
you go
there.
see him?
I didn't see him, no, but I think
Were you
I
there?
Yeah, I don't remember what game it was. I was either there or I knew he was there, so I
Yeah.
could be either one. But no, you know what? We actually have an OJ poster in the
Yeah,
in
I
the
need
green
you to
room.
bring a nail or something so we can hang that up on the wall.
I'll have to look it up on my DIY TikToks. But
Okay,
I think
there
we
we
should be able
go.
to get it done. Yeah.
But you know what I was speaking of the Kardashians, I was just thinking about because obviously they have like generational wealth now. Like their kids' kids are going to be taken care of,
It's
right?
so crazy, like how much money they have.
But you know what I wonder is if their kids, how their kids are going to deal with the spotlight. Because if you look at Michael Jackson, who was
Yes.
obviously very famous, but it was different because he didn't have a reality show or anything.
Well, he
But,
had
like,
talent.
but
he
he
was
had-
a king.
But what I'm saying, I'm just speaking purely from like a fame standpoint here.
Yeah.
Like his kids did kind of grow up in the public eye, but none of them are really into that now. I think his daughter might be doing some kind of music or
She's
something.
doing some singing, yeah.
Yeah, but they really are not like in the public eye a ton.
No,
But the
no.
Kardashians' kids, like Khloe's kid, is in a commercial with her.
I think I've seen it before. Yeah, her daughter. Yeah.
What?
Isn't Chloe the one that OJ's her dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a
I
little
just
different.
But what does that have to do with
we all
anything?
agreed on that.
Well, we know.
Yeah.
We're
We
in.
know.
Yeah,
We
we
know.
got it. But I just wonder, like, because the kind of dynasty that they're building has never happened before.
Right. But I think going back to what you said about, Michael Jackson's kids aren't really in the spotlight that much. And it's because I think a lot of people say, like, like when you get famous, like, once you're famous, you'll never get your privacy back again. Like, I get that. And I do agree with that to a certain extent. But like Michael Jackson's kids, they're not in the spotlight that much because they don't want to be in the spotlight that
Didn't
much.
he dangle one of them off over a balcony?
Yeah, Blanket.
Probably why.
Blanket, I believe.
Oh,
Right.
and he named his kid Blanket. So
Yeah.
you wonder. Okay, you
Right.
just answered your own
But
question.
if you look at the Kardashians, when are they not in the spotlight? They're always in the spotlight. They're always in the spotlight. Not because, like, okay, yeah, paparazzi and like whatever, but like they make sure that they're always
Like
in the
Well,
that's just the way they've built their life with their show. and stuff,
Exactly.
No,
right?
they ended their show though. For
spotlight.
that
But now they're on Hulu.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Now they're on Hulu.
I
yeah.
I had the pleasure of watching like the last episode ever of their show. They did sat Oprah style, like sat him down on a couch and asked the hard hitting questions, and it was a little bit tough to watch.
In what
Really?
way?
I think you would find more humor in it than anything else if you were to watch it. But if you think about it from an actual, like, these are people perspective, it was really, really not cringy, but I guess cringy, because the show was on for what, like 15 years or something like
Yeah.
that. So this woman who was interviewing all of them had them all sitting on the couch and went back over the course of like the entire show and started asking them questions about like all of the worst like fights they got in and the times where they hated each other the most. And it was like really uncomfortable at times to watch. But I could see why people liked the show.
Right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the same reason people like a lot of things. It's just interesting to see a lifestyle that you are probably never going to obtain. See, it's just, you know what? It's very similar to why some people like watching sports, right? They're watching people do these things that they just can't physically do. I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
But I think with their kids, it's almost like they're like Kendall and Kylie were very young when that show started, right? It's
Yeah.
almost
They were like young.
very young.
Yeah.
They kind of did not have a choice to grow up the way they did, and it's almost like even though they were a little older than babies, I assume, I don't know how old, but now the babies are going to grow up with cameras all around, like video cameras, not just regular like paparazzi stuff when they're coming out of Chuck E. Cheese or wherever they want to take their kids. Probably not there, but but like video, like filming them.
I just had a really good idea. 1.
Okay.
2, also it doesn't help when you throw Kanye West into the mix.
Well, I was going to ask you guys this. Let's just for a second talk and think about everything that's going on right now in that family. I mean, you have so much going on. You have Pete Davidson and Kim. You got Kanye West and what's her name? Begins with a J.
Julia Fox.
Julia Fox. I watched her in Uncut Gems.
Oh,
She's
that's
great.
right.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's great. It was a really crazy movie, honestly. But
I like that movie.
it was a good movie.
I didn't even know that. I don't pay a lot of attention to these things. I didn't even know that Kanye West had a girlfriend
Yeah.
or
She's
Yeah.
like the
female companion.
Yeah, she's like the one that she's like Adam Sandler's mistress, I guess, in that,
Yeah,
in Uncut Gems, if you remember her.
Yeah.
I don't remember those scenes. I just remember like the scene where he's locked in that middle part and he's
Yeah, you're
watching
focused
that
on the
basketball
gambling
game.
part. That's a
Yeah. Yeah. That
It's
was
a rush, man.
It was a really great movie. I actually went to the theater with my friends like as soon as it came out. I was like, oh my God, The Weeknd's going to be in it. I have to go see
Oh, he was?
them. And,
Didn't know that either.
The Weeknd. He was there for like literally 5 seconds.
Was he
but
just like at the store?
He was like his old era with like the bird hair. Like,
Yeah.
Like it was amazing. Like I got to like he was in like the camo and like just the fact that we got to see it on like the big screen and it was just like super cool because I felt like I was like at one of his shows and it was cool. But like yeah, so he was in it. Julia Fox, Adam Sandler. And then, what's that guy from Get Out? That guy, he had dreads in Uncut Gems. They made him look like, I think think they made him look like a rapper.
Sure, I don't remember.
forgot
I don't
what
know
his
either.
name
And when I
was.
tell you're
Stanley
saying all these
something,
things,
I
and
don't
I'm like
know.
thinking about me watching this movie, and I've seen it multiple times, and I think it's a good movie. I missed a lot of that movie apparently because I was focused on other things.
It's okay. But, and then what was the last one? Oh, yeah, and then Travis Barker and Courtney. So we have them. We have Travis and Courtney. We have Kim and P, and we have Julia and Kanye. There's just so much, I think, like, going around right now. I don't know, like, what's real, what's not, like, what to believe, what not to believe. I don't know. What do you guys think?
This is Matthew's area of expertise.
No, this is my area of my brain's in a pretzel. So the one has a baby with Travis Scott.
Yeah, so that's Kylie.
they-
She's got baby number 2 on the way, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Also with Travis Scott.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good for them. Glad to see
Yeah.
them happy together. When Travis Scott's not working with the devil.
Astroworld.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's true. There was a music festival though. I'm gonna switch the topic right now unintentionally, but this is where my brain went. That music festival that got released. That's one day in Vegas. You know what I'm talking about? And it's
No.
all like early 2000s bands.
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's this huge music festival. I don't know. A bunch of people I know have been freaking out about it, and it's all like I don't know the bands again because I don't know anything and retain nothing, but 303 is going to be there. I know that's one of them. Yeah. Do you know who that is?
No.
You guys don't know who that is?
303.
Yeah, they sang that song with Kesha, and they also, I'm
Oh.
pretty sure, sang that song that's like, Don't Trust a Hoe. I'm pretty sure they sang that one too.
I feel like I
No,
know-
that might be Cobra Starship, but I don't know. It's all the same.
Fuck?
These
Cobra
are the name of
Starship?
real
That
bands.
sounds like a ride at Fantasy
Yo. That's where they got their name.
Reopening in 2022.
Yeah.
I'm so
Very
I'm sorry.
excited.
Don't think that I'm not going to get season passes because I am.
I can never go back to Fantasy Island again in my life.
What?
This is.
I had a trauma. No, I had a trauma there.
It's a
And
rough
I know.
story.
You did?
I
weird story.
I have a.
Say
It's
it.
not,
Tell
it
us.
might
No.
not be true. It might not be
It's
true, but it's a
definitely
weird
not.
story.
It's definitely not. But I
Okay.
had like this weird like memory. Yeah. Either
Oh no,
way.
is it like really bad?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess not for me.
If it's
but,
if it's
yeah.
real.
It wasn't. It was just like
Was it in the water park?
no. It was like I remember this like little kid being like I was very little at the time, and I like it wasn't real, but I remember this little kid like being so upset, and like his dad like dragging him out of the bathroom, and in my mind being like, that kid might be getting kidnapped, and it's not that. Yeah, but everything was all good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a story that was like about you, right?
No, it had nothing to do
Oh,
with
I
it.
thought,
Well,
I thought it
mean,
was he said trauma like about him. Like,
No,
about-
no,
But he was just traumatized by
Right.
witnessing a potential
Yeah.
And you were
kidnapping.
how
So-
old? Like probably like
oh,
9?
like no, not even like,
Maybe like 5?
6.
Yeah.
Very young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I actually have no problem with Fantasy Island. I'm sure I'll make my way back there.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably gonna be new and improved. So.
Hopefully.
What
Do
was I
you know?
saying?
Did you like read about the guy who bought it? Did you read anything about him?
So I've kind of been following it on Facebook, but I don't know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
But I know the guy. You guys know like who the big tall marshal is.
Who?
The marshal. Remember like the cowboy
Oh, from the
shootouts.
pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what his name is, but he kind of like he was like right under like the management team. He might have been one of the managers. I don't know, but he like posts everything, like all the updates on Facebook and stuff. And I like looking at it because it like reminds me of my childhood and like I want to go back and stuff. So no, but I haven't.
Well, I don't know exactly who this guy is either. All I know is that
Isn't that his thing? He buys.
yeah. So this guy
He buys things.
he collects amusement parks. He collects like little amusement parks. So
cool.
he has purchased a ton of Fantasy Island like just like locally owned amusement parks all over the country, and he picked up Fantasy Island last
just to
year.
be
Oh my gosh.
yeah, and just to be clear, Andrew collects sub 2 comic books, and there's a guy out there that collects amusement parks.
Whatever, dude. You
So-
don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what that is.
No, you don't even get him started.
Yeah, I won't bore you with
Yeah,
the details.
yeah.
No, it's
But
okay.
that's just a level of wealth that I can't imagine. Being able to buy multiple amusement parks.
And you also have to know that when you're buying like smaller like local amusement parks,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
gonna be like some.
And also he is
You have to invest some money into them
Oh,
to
for
get
sure.
them. You know.
And this guy, I believe he has said like he's not interested in making money off of these amusement parks.
Really?
Like he just wants them.
Do you think he does it just so he can go whenever he wants and just ride rides?
Right.
I bet that's a big part of it. That's gotta
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
I mean, I think my lasting like ending memories of Fantasy Island was just kind of like to the point where everything was just kind of getting like run down, like the service wasn't as good, you know, just like that type of thing. So I really hope that when it reopens that everything is kind of like new and improved. Not that they weren't like ever like good, they were great, it was a great amusement park, but I think that there's definitely, you know, some improvements that got to be made.
The Crazy Mouse, wasn't that a...
Oh, Crazy Mouse.
Crazy
You know
Mouse.
what's funny? So on my YouTube channel, I've been doing YouTube since like 2010. I would always bring my iPod Touch to the amusement park, and I would go with like my neighbors and my friends, and when I was little. And I have so many videos of me like on the rides, like I snuck my iPod Touch in, and I'd be like on a Silver Comet, and like I'd be in like the front, like at the front to like middle row, and like we'd be going like right over the hump, and I'd be screaming, and like all you hear is just like the wind blasting in the YouTube video, and it's just hilarious. I mean, I privated all those videos so you can't see them, but like literally they're hilarious. I have like 300 videos, and I have one of the Silver Comet, one of the Crazy Mouse, one on the big swings. I have one on like the log ride. Don't even ask me how that happened because there's probably water all over my iPod, but it was just hilarious because I would just bring my iPod like on every ride I would go on, and like no one said anything.
Oh man, well that was back in the day. That just
Yeah.
That just feels so. It almost feels very nostalgic now, just to talk about like bringing your iPod Touch.
Yeah,
into, like,
well,
that's all I had.
I know that's all any of us had.
The first
They don't even
iPod
make
that
them.
I ever,
Yeah.
well, I had the very first iPod. I had the shuffle, the little USB
That's
shuffle.
not the first iPod.
Which one
though.
was?
I'll tell you what the first iPod was.
Oh.
This is. I think about this all the time. The very first iPod was like probably about that big. It was
I
like
thought it
pretty
was
chunky.
the square with like the clicker.
No, dude, I have my phone.
No, the shuffle and the Nano.
The Nano?
The
Yeah,
Nano
yeah,
is the
yeah.
one that you're thinking of. And then they
Okay.
came out with a bunch of different versions of the Nano. Like I
Yeah.
had a purple Nano that had a camera on it at one point.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
those were like the larger.
Well, they weren't wider, but they
Nanos.
were skinny and
Yeah,
long.
they were. Yeah, but as opposed to like the little squares. Okay, the first iPod. Yeah, you guys will recognize it when you see it. Let me get a good. Oh fuck. Yeah, so that's the first iPod.
Okay, yeah, that
Was
looks
that
familiar.
one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember this, Matthew, but I think about this a lot because our aunt was the first person we knew to get an iPod, and I remember one night our family like all went over there to check it out. It was like in the 50s when the first person in your neighborhood got a television, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what is this thing?"
Right.
Like that's what my experience was with the iPod.
Do you remember? Do you know what
Weird.
Zune is?
What?
Yeah.
Like the off-brand iPod?
Yeah, it was like Microsoft. Well, yeah, no one knows what it.
Yeah.
Microsoft
was called
tried. It was
Zune.
called a Zune. It was like an MP3 player.
And it was
No.
one of those things where like, no, it's better than the iPod. Like you can do this and this and this, and everybody's like, it wasn't better than the iPod. I knew.
Well, right, but that's the
shout out
a
Chris.
big part of the genius of Apple is like their products. I mean, you could say that they've taken a little bit of the character away because remember in elementary school the like colored Mac things that were like see-through.
The Macintosh.
The Macintoshes. Those were cool, but the Apple stuff, it looks so sleek. Like it just
It's
looks
so
so good.
sleek,
It looks
yeah.
exactly how you would picture the future to look like
Yeah.
Yeah.
from like sci-fi and stuff.
22nd century man. What do you say we do a little
Who would win of the week?
Yeah, sorry, that's
Yeah.
on me. I tried. That was supposed to come out the first time. Never got there.
It's okay.
Who would win of the week this week is Troy Bolton versus Esteban from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, the bellhop. You can go ahead and say his,
No,
his
you
full
have
name,
to.
man.
I want to see if you can say it.
Esteban Julio Ricardo Del.
No, you skipped one,
Rodriguez?
That's that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
but it's not.
Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya De La Rosa Ramirez.
Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya De La Rosa Ramirez.
La
Andrew, good
Rosa.
job.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah, third time. Third time's a charm.
Yep. So these two guys going at it. I'm gonna say Troy Bolton. I mean, he's a basketball player. He's a terrific dancer. He's obviously in good shape. Esteban is a bellhop at a hotel in a big city. That guy's seen some shit, man.
Yeah.
Esteban's got grit for sure. It just has to happen.
I mean, what I would say, my biggest thing going into this fight is people are probably going to be like, oh, Troy Bolton, athlete, like, this, that, and the other thing, probably has a better chance against Esteban. This is going to be a cliche. That saying that they say to boxers, like, your, like, your, like, biggest opponent is yourself. You know what I mean? Esteban knows exactly who he is. He he has no internal questions about him as a person. Mm-hmm. Troy Bolton has no clue who he is. He is a very, very conflicted man.
I agree.
He tries to step up and fight somebody when he can't even, look inward in himself and face and fight himself, his own demons.
Right.
That's why I'm going with Esteban.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough fight.
I think it's kind of like a no-brainer because I feel like Esteban just has that spunk in him, that flaming fire that Troy just doesn't have.
That's
and
true.
He has a chicken.
And I think Esteban is a very nice dude. Like, he's a soft guy.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I would totally be friends with him.
For sure. But if you step to him, he's not going to back down, dude.
That's
like,
right.
when it comes down to it,
speak to us.
He's got grit. That's just...
And he talks to ghosts.
And he can talk to ghosts.
But you also can't sell Troy Bolton short in the fact that he is a very, very good athlete.
Sure, perhaps physically dominant.
Yes.
But how much physical conflict really has Troy Bolton had to go through before?
He's a skill guy.
He's a skill guy, right? He's not a big man, buddy. He's not getting in the paint, taking elbows and stuff like that.
He likes to dance around the outside. Well, actually, though, he's working on his moves in the paint in the first scene of that movie before he goes and
before the cruise ship. Isn't that where they are? Aren't they on a cruise ship in the beginning of that movie?
You've never seen the movie?
I saw it when it came
No,
out.
they're at a ski resort for New Year's Eve.
That's funny.
I didn't know that. I didn't watch the full movie.
That's the first scene. All right, I'll break it down for you. They're at the resort. It's New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Troy and his dad are in the gym. Only ones in the gym. Only ones putting in the work at this hour of the day. That's why he's the best. And he's got his dad on his back. He's right under the basket. And he's just like faking left, jumping right, step back, bucket. Dad gives him another ball. Fake left, jump right, step back, bucket. Does it like 3 times in a row. Mom enters the gym, starts bitching at both of them. Says like, hey, like we have to get to the party. Like, Troy, you have to get to the kids' party. Let's get out of the gym so we can get showered and do things, right? Mm-hmm. Troy's like, they're both like, all right, just one more. Left shoulder, jump right, step back, bucket. They both leave. Cut to them at the party right before the spotlights hit him when him and Gabriella go up on stage and sing the song.
What happens next?
I could tell you the whole movie if you want me to. I'm very passionate about these movies. I've never seen the third one, though. Just the first 2.
But I have to assume that when Troy Bolton is getting yelled at by Esteban, he's going to back down. So I'm going to lock in Esteban as well. I know it's going to be tough for you to vote against Troy.
I'm a big Troy guy. I'm a big Zac Efron guy.
Yeah,
we talked about
true.
this earlier.
Well, he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah. Very handsome man.
Very handsome man.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you that I agree with both of you. I should say that Esteban probably wins this fight, and I really think the reason is because Zac Efron's just a little lost mentally.
Right.
Troy Bolton, sorry.
Yeah.
Slip.
I was about to say his head is not in the game, but it would have been.
Why am I feeling so wrong?
Here we go.
My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song. How was that? Was that pretty good?
No.
Yeah.
What?
She said yes.
You don't have to lie to him.
Hey, you got it, man. Just keep going.
See?
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you've ruined his life now.
No, I mean, listen.
Are you planning on doing more of those vlogs?
Yeah, I mean, do you like it? Should I?
Absolutely. Well, that's
Okay.
kind of what I want your opinion on because the vlog that you did. It's interesting because it's not just like follow me around. There's also a little bit of like a makeup tutorial element to it. Mm-hmm. And then obviously at the end, it's almost a reaction video because you're kind of summing up your whole performance and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, were you even conscious that you were kind of putting all those elements into one?
Honestly, like, I knew that I was going to kind of do something like that, but I wasn't completely sure like how it was gonna go, because it just all kind of like depended on my mood that day. If I was like sad or like mad about something, I was not gonna do all that. But I was having like such a great day, like the day before the show, and then like the day of, I was like lit. Like I was just at my top tier. Like I've never been like more happy. I was just so excited. And a lot of people, like, the reason why I did include like the makeup clips and stuff, which I kind of took a little too long on, but the reason why I included that was because all of like my girlfriends and just people, like girls that I know, like, you know what, your makeup is good, like you need to start doing makeup tutorials. I'm like, okay. So I just did like a little bit on it. I didn't do like the full thing, or else we would have been there for like 2 days. But yeah, so I included that, but I wanted to include like the intro. You know, I included a clip of a scene that I actually took at the mall going down the escalator. I don't know if you peeped that in the beginning. Just to kind of like show, like, if you're new to like this channel, like this is what I look like and this is kind of what I do and like whatever, because I'm like slowly but surely like rebooting my YouTube. So yeah, but I wanted to include like a lot of like key stuff. Just kind of almost like a day in the life, you know, of me like going to the salon, like getting my hair done, and then you know, going to sound check, and like then I'm driving to the show, and then I'm at the show, and it's just, you know, it's the vibes and it's the energy and whatever. And if you made it to the end of the video, I'll give you a trophy, because that was a 20-minute long video. But at the end of the video, you're right, I do kind of state my reaction a little bit, and I may have overhyped it like a little bit, and overhyped like the day and the show and everything, because, you know, I think the energy that I wanted wasn't necessarily there, but it was nobody's fault, like running the show, or, you know, like anybody on stage's fault. I think it was just the crowd itself, because a couple months ago in October, I actually had my first show over here at Stamps. You guys know where Stamps is?
Oh, yeah.
And the energy was there. Like, I am telling you right now, it was my first show, and I was like kind of nervous, although I don't really get nervous anymore, but like, I'm telling you right now, that place was packed. I got up there, I did my thing, I sang 4 songs, and like, even though I didn't sing like my best, because I was like just getting over a little cold, the energy, like, it's the energy. You can perform so much better if you are getting that energy back from the crowd. I mean, literally, you can see the videos, like I posted them, like it goes crazy, and I enjoyed that. And then I think that's why I kept like overhyping like this show for, you know, this performance, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm so excited, like all my friends are gonna be there, and like we're just gonna get lit, and you know, everyone's gonna be coming in, like, you know, there's gonna be like a line outside the door, and I was like, you know, and so, but I mean, it was fun though. It was an experience. I definitely had a good time anyways, you know.
Well, Stamps is a hard venue to beat though. Like, people like going there to have a good time. It's a very supportive atmosphere in that joint. It's a good place to go. Yeah, it's, so after this, there's a few more things I want to talk to you about, I guess, but while we're on this, after your experience there, I mean, I think it's a good thing, even though the show didn't live up to the hype that you had built up in your own head, I guess. It's still good to go in there with that energy.
You know what? You're right. And I think the other thing too is, like, sometimes I not like get disappointed in myself, but the thing is, like, I'm kind of like a go-getter. Like, if I don't get what I want, like, I'm going to get it either way. Like, I don't take no for an answer. And I feel like that kind of is a good quality about me, because there's some people who don't get what they want and they give up. So, like, that night when I was performing, I'm, like, up there, like, singing. And, like, of course, like, my friends were, like, paying attention to me and everything. And, like, they were recording and everything. But, like, I didn't, like, really grab the attention of, like, the whole entire venue. And so, like, it literally got to the point where I was like, okay, you're not paying attention to me? Well, I'm going to make you pay attention to me. And so I literally got off the stage and walked through, like, a crowd of people. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw that, but literally I kind of, like, mentally, I feel like I had, like, a little mental episode in, like, my brain for a second, which never usually happens to me, because then I lose my cool. And I don't like to lose my cool, because then things get nasty. But literally walked through some people that I apologize for, because I didn't even realize I was doing it, because it all just kind of kept happening, like, so fast. Like, in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, oh my god, like, no one's, like, looking, no one's paying attention, like, you know, let's just go. You guys paid to, like, get in here. Let's just, like, watch all the artists and all the performers and the openers. Let's just, like, have a good night. And I wasn't really getting that. So, you know, it's definitely, you know, but it was an experience. But at the same time, a lot of people have told me recently and before that I've been very lucky with the venues that I performed at, because my first appearance, it wasn't like my show or anything, but my first ever like appearance with like one of my songs was when P. Millie invited me out to venue for the 9/11 tribute in September, this past September, and we sang our song. And that went crazy. And it was fun, and the energy and like all that. And so that was like my first like real time like singing at like a nightclub with like one of my own songs. And then so that was like the appearance, and then Stamps was like my first ever show. So I've been lucky with those two. And then this third one, which was really great too, you know, I just wish I had that energy that I had at those past two shows.
Sure.
You know.
But you know what? It's important to have shows like that.
Yeah.
Honestly. You good? Okay, sorry.
No, that's on me. Yeah.
But I have listened to a lot of performers talk about their experiences starting, a lot of them. And a pretty common thread is that the first time they get on stage, things go very well. And then a lot of shows after that are really shitty for them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good because at least you know that that place where you are in the beginning is possible. Yes. And you can get back there. And I think you going into the crowd and making those people making them pay attention to you, it's a good quality to have, honestly. Some of those folks might not have really appreciated it in the moment while you were right in there, but that's something that I think kind of, it takes some people a very long time to learn how to do, not that specifically, but different ways of making people pay attention.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, I'm not, you know, looking back on it now, because since I'm the artist and it's, you know, I'm always performing, I think looking back on it, I mean, it was the beginning of the night. I was literally the second one to perform. And so literally, like, people are going to be on their phones. They're going to be at the bar getting drinks. They're not going to be paying attention. And it's like, I get that. But it's like, you know, as an artist, you kind of want the crowd to vibe with you and mess with you and, like, your set and everything. And it's like, you know, then it's like, oh, if you're not like rocking with me, then like, am I doing something wrong or is it the crowd? But then again, later as like the night went on, I realized it wasn't any of the artists. The artists were phenomenal. These rappers, I mean, they can just like spit. Like, I can't even tell you, like, they're really, really good, talented rappers. And I featured them in the vlog, which was also a really great clip that I added to as well. Cause I was like, nah, let's just not make this like all about me. Let's put the rappers in there as well. Cause they're very talented. And so, but still these people, it was like 11:30 at night. They're like, come up, like everybody from the back, like come up, just like come up. And it's just, I think it, you know, maybe it's just, it was just the people who weren't really, just didn't want to go up and stuff, you know? I mean, it is what it is, but y'all paid to be here, so.
Yeah, it's a tough thing in those moments. There's a weird social aspect, I think, within the crowd itself of, you know, even though they are separate people, they kind of become this weird herd, and sometimes that herd can vote against the people on stage, or they can feel like them as individuals can't necessarily be as into it as they had planned on being or even want to be, because then they're separated from the herd, then they're singled out. Yeah. Like, and even though that's, you know, it's kind of like that thing of like in movies and stuff when there's a prom scene or like a homecoming scene, and there's like boys on this side, girls on one side, and then somebody just got to get in the middle and dance.
A chaperone usually.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's kind of does not usually work in those movies, so maybe that's a bad example. But in real life, something like that can make a big difference.
Right, exactly. I feel like we need more people, like more individuals, to start doing their own thing. You know, stop being a follower, be a leader, like lead the pack. Like, I'm telling you right now,
it's very difficult too.
It is difficult, but I'm telling you, it's not impossible.
I've succeeded and failed in doing that exactly. I've gotten people involved, and I've also stood places by myself and looked like an idiot. Probably more times than the other, but it's always fun for me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great night. Like, anyways, like, I've had people that I didn't even know, like, come up to me and be like, hey, like, your set was really good. Or, like, I heard, like, your set was, like, really good. Like, I missed it, but I just got here. And, like, I'm like, really? Like, I sucked. And they were like, no, like, you were, like, really good. I'm like, okay. But, like, literally, as I mentioned in the vlog, my one song backup plan started, like, playing. And literally in the beginning of the song, I started singing the bridge of the song, like the ending of the song. That's just how mentally messed up I was. I was mentally, like, frustrated. I didn't know, like, I knew where I was, but, like, I didn't know, like, and I had no drinks. Like, I literally was just like, what the heck am I doing? Like, I'm singing the ending of the song and the beginning of the song. And it's crazy because, like, the way the beat was, like, it flowed with it. Like, I literally have a video of it. I'm like, okay, this actually, like, goes with it. It's not like you're singing, like, you know, those songs, like, it's going to be totally, like, you're going to know that it's, like, the ending of the song, you know? And so I was like, okay. But that's, I think the one quality about me is, like, I'm able to do that. Like, if I get out on stage and, like, either if I forget the lyrics, which usually never happens, or if I just start in the wrong part of the song, I can get back, like, right on track and, like, be able to do it. But I'm, like, in the moment, I was like, oh, my God. Like, I really just did that. Like, you know?
That makes a big difference, too. Presence of mind while you're performing. There's that... Have you ever seen this video of, like... It was pretty famous at the time, but, like... Ashley Simpson, she was a musical guest on Saturday Night Live.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
She's like started to lip sync to the wrong song, and then she just kind of like
the chicken dance
off stage.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Then she blamed it on the band at the end of the show. It's like fuck, but
yeah.
But to have that presence of mind,
you gotta
makes
do
a big
anything
difference.
besides chicken dance off stage.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
really,
I know.
yeah. I mean, at least to throw a couple like, hey. That's just how I hay my way through it, you know.
Well, even do you remember this was like 4 years ago or something, I want to say, but when Mariah Carey played New Year's Eve,
oh my God, the
and
Christmas
she
show?
her monitors weren't working, she didn't know the words to her song, but
Was it All I Want for Christmas?
I think so.
No way.
If
It
you
might
don't know the
no.
words to that song,
It
you
might
got
have
a
been.
problem.
It was a song with the whistle tones, I think, but I'm not sure. But I know what you're talking about. But I know, like, when you mean like what you just said about, oh, she forgot her own lyrics to her song. I've done that before, and yeah, I mean, technically in the moment, like, you forget your lyrics to the song, but I think it's more like we forget, like, where we were in the song.
Right.
And we're trying to, like, not so much necessarily forgot the lyrics because we know the lyrics, but we're like, where are we in the song? I got to get to that spot to get to those words, which is incredibly hard to do if you're live singing and there's, like, 100 people watching you.
I bet.
You know?
But that's, I mean, some people chicken dance off, at least in again, to the Mariah Carey instance. Like, she was still on stage, like, she was still very much like, I do have to do a performance right now, even if it's not going to necessarily be what I had planned on it being or whatever.
Yeah.
I have to be here.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a pro being a pro.
Yeah.
Across any medium.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just, like, fake it till you make it type thing, you know?
Yeah, kind of. That's really all it is. So where are you at now with performing? Like, because when you're talking about, you know, forgetting the part in the song that you're at, so that was more out of frustration as opposed to being nervous?
Yeah, it wasn't even that I was nervous. Like, I don't, like, my grandma always asks me, I'll be like, yeah, grandma, I'm doing a show. And she's like, oh, or like, are you nervous? I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. It wasn't that I was nervous. It was literally like, I think, like, something was, like, psychologically, like, wrong in my brain, like, when I was, like, on stage. You know, I did my first song, and then in the middle, I really actually said, like, okay, second verse, and I say that before I sing the second verse because it adds some, you know, flavor to the song. And then I go into the second verse, and I'm, like, finding myself, like, walking, like, stepping on people's shoes, like, screaming into the mic, like, oh my God, Olivia, what are you doing? This is not you. Like, calm down, like, get back to, like, your level, stop screaming, like, sing the song, and, like, go back on stage and just, like, do your thing and get it over with. Because, you know, I'm like, why is this happening? And then the second song was when I did, like, the ending of the song. But then the third song was good though too. I mean, it was an okay set. Like, could I have done better? Like, yeah, of course. But, like, then it's like me trying to, like, tell the DJ, like, oh, volume up, vocals down, or vocals up, volume down. It's never a happy medium. So I'm like, and then, but the thing is, a lot of people don't know this is a lot of people, like, I don't know if you guys go to these shows or not, they'll just sing, like, or sing or rap over, like, their voice. So it's not like lip syncing, but they'll just perform over their track. So they're literally essentially performing over the song. I don't do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look down upon that because, like my one friend was like, oh, like, so you're just, like, singing this raw? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. So.
Sorry? You mean like a fucking musical performance? Are you for real? There's a lot of people have, like, said that that's not as good or something.
Yeah, I mean, are you in
Nope,
reference to, like, my live singing, you mean?
No, I mean just in general. Like, people say that people have said to you, like, it's better to sing over the track than to just sing it raw like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I get it all the time. They're like, oh, like, this, like, one of the DJs was like, one of my last shows was like, oh, yeah, it's just like this, like, you're not singing on it. Because, like, I'll have ad-libs and stuff on it, you know, because I can't, like, do my harmonies and ad-libs at the same time while singing live. But, like, yeah, they'll be like, oh, like, why don't you just sing over your track? And I'm like, why are people paying to come see me sing like over my track? Why like I would never go pay to see somebody literally like lip sync or go just to sing or rap like over their tracks when I could literally listen to that for free on YouTube or my iPhone.
Yeah.
Like I just don't want to do that. I would rather, where my head is at right now, I would rather give somebody not the best, maybe crappy live performance, even though I'm still singing live, than me lip syncing or like performing over my track.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're coming to pay me, like, pay to see me sing, like, at least let me do it live. Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure.
Sing.
Well,
Yeah.
well, lip
Kind of.
syncing, you know, you never know sometimes if people are doing it. But to sing over your track, you're not singing along with the radio. You're performing. You're a musical. No fucking way. I can't believe that people actually have said that to you.
I'm not kidding you. Like,
That's crazy.
I'm not kidding you. And like, it's not that I look down upon people who do that, but like, then it's more or less like confusing. Cause like, if like, so say like a rapper, like at a show, like you hear like their track and then like they're rapping like the same exact entire thing, but like their voice is either like higher or they're like doing it more like in a louder like motion. So it's like, you can tell that like there's two of them like on the mic, which is the track and then their actual live voice. And it's like, I just don't like to do that. Like, let me just do it live and like whatever it is.
Maybe that's a little different, I guess, if there's some kind of, I don't know, art element to it, but
I just don't know why people do that. Do we think, I actually want a good poll here. Do we think people do that because they want to make sure that it sounds good? Because obviously when you fix it in the studio and stuff.
I don't know anything about anything, as I've said already today. I would think that it's easier to sing over.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm not, and I think that's why it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think people shouldn't do it because it's easier, right? Like we talked about like how difficult it is to have the ability to focus on what you're doing depending on what's going on around you, and why having the ability to do that is what can set people apart and make people good artists, and their ability to kind of find their spot and get back into it. Whereas if the song is playing and you're listening to it, you know exactly where you're supposed to be because you can hear it. So
Exactly.
it takes the natural element out of it. It also takes away from your ability to kind of have showmanship because you can't change anything as to how you're doing it, right? You have to do it exactly how you recorded it, or else it's going to sound fucked up.
Exactly.
So I would say again, I didn't even know that was a thing.
No.
It is a very, very big
If
thing.
that's a trend, that needs to go away.
Oh,
And
it's
I
not
feel
even
like
a trend anymore. It's
gotta
just
go
like the
away.
staple like thing.
Because
that
I could do that.
anybody can do that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem
Again,
with the
it's-
music industry.
It's singing along with the radio.
It's
you
not
know?
it's singing along, like you said, it's singing over the track, rapping over the track, it's singing with it. But I think the other thing, like you mentioned, Matt, is anybody could do that. You can go into a studio, okay, either one of you. You can go into my studio right now and you can say, okay, I'm gonna sing or rap this song, okay. And then but if you think that you don't sound good, or if the producer's like, okay, let's add some like auto-tune onto this, you add auto-tune, okay. You cook it all up, cook it in the mixer, spice it up, he sends you the mix. He'll make you sound good, right? Because it's auto-tune. That's what studios are there for. That's whatever. I personally don't use auto-tune, but when I go into the studio, I always tell my producer, like, okay, put some reverb on my mic. I'm not going to just sing into a dry mic, So, but literally, though, it's just become such a thing. I haven't even seen any, like, real raw artists anymore in this city. I don't even know if I can name any. Like, females, that is, because literally every female I see is doing this auto-tune, like, far away like sound in a studio, like they sound like they're floating on like Mars like type thing, like they're not even singing, they're just like humming. Like I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with it. I don't know if it's a trend or if people think they just want to hop on to like the female music wave. I don't know what that is. I don't call it music. I don't call it singing. The other thing is like female rappers that all try to sound like Megan Thee Stallion or Nicki or Lotto. Like I don't know. I think everybody needs to find their own sound, and then once you establish that, put it to the farthest extent, because where are you really going if you're sounding like everybody else? Because you need to make sure that you are diverse. You know what I mean? If you're not diverse, no one's gonna remember you. And I always thought about that, like when I was growing up too, is like if you're not different, like I'd rather be different and be remembered than to just be like everybody else and just go with the flow and follow everybody. is just not really like my thing.
Certainly. And it takes some people a very long time to find their own sound. So I think that some people do start off replicating a lot of artists that they like, and either they move away from that as they learn more about themselves and about music in general and the type of music that they want to make, or they just fall off because nobody's going to really do something. Like, it's just not sustainable to do that for a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, I think when a record label wants to sign you, for $1 million record deal or whatever, and they want you to come into the record label and they want you to do it live, they're not going to say, okay, perform over your tracks. Yeah, I want to hear you sing over your tracks or rap over your tracks.
Maybe they would, though.
But if you can't do it live, if you're not going to be giving that energy out on stage and at shows and stuff, I mean, like I said, anybody can sound good on a track. Yeah. Anybody.
I think that's kind of a different thing, though. Like, you can be very charismatic on stage without really while doing music something while music is playing, right?
Again.
And also, the record companies are such. I mean, that's a full blown machine. You know what I mean? So that's almost probably. I think that's probably almost exactly what they do, is they just bring someone in whose look they like or who is very charismatic on stage, and they're like, okay, let's kind of run you through this machine, and when you come out the other side, you'll be what we want you to be, what we make you.
Yeah.
Certainly, yeah, and that'll be the plus side for you potentially.
I think that's the thing too, is it's all about like the look now in the music industry. If you got
kind of always has been. Though.
Has it though, Ben? Because I mean, look at
Well, I think that I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I know what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thing on it would probably be that when like hip hop and stuff like that started getting really, really popular, the people that were singing it were setting the trends, right? With the way that they looked, the way that they dressed. And so it started a trend of trends followed these, superstars, pop stars, rappers, whatever it may be. And then somewhere along the line, people realized like, oh, these people are making so much money because they're becoming not just musicians but trendsetters. Let's start making trendsetters musicians and having them set new trends, and then people will continue to follow them, and then we can make more money.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense.
I don't know if I explained that well.
No, I think you did.
He looked
think
confused.
That it's you have all the people who started the trends, like, you got Kanye, you got Nicki, you got Eminem, you got Kendrick, But I think the other thing, too, is SoundCloud wasn't as big as it is now 10 years ago, when everybody started, hopping on the SoundCloud rapper wave. And, it's more or less just kind of like, if you're a rapper and, like, you put your songs on SoundCloud, like, okay. But if you're really just sitting there, like, my producer tells me all the time, I don't know all of his clients. I haven't really seen any of his clients, but my producer tells me, like, Olivia, we got people coming in just rapping about perks and Xannies and just whatever. And it's like, that does nothing for me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go log onto my SoundCloud and be like, okay, I want to listen to perks and Xannies today and lean and whatever. Like, I just, but it's like, if you are like, Kanye, and if you're, Kendrick, Eminem and Nicki, all those people, I feel like they can get away with like a lot of stuff that now, like, you might not be able to, unless you make it and get there super big, if that makes sense.
I think I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely understand what you mean as far as the SoundCloud goes.
Yeah.
But there's something, I mean, obviously some of that stuff is insanely popular.
It is. Believe it or not, it is. And people will like pay to go see that or, watch that or listen to it, on their phone. Like, I'm not like super, super like hating on it, but I love like bring back like the old rap, like, Rihanna, like Love the Way You Lie with Eminem, like that type of stuff. Even like the song, Me and You Part 2, I mean, it's everybody says it's their favorite song, like off the album and whatever. And I get that. Like, I love the song. It's one of my favorites. At the same time, it's like, why is that song so good? I always ask that, question to myself. Why is it so good? Is
Andrew
it like,
loves Riri.
If Beyonce's the queen, Rihanna's a goddess.
I forgot about Beyonce.
I say that all the time.
I kind of like forgot like Beyonce existed. Like, no offense, but like I just feel.
I was talking about Beyonce yesterday. Oddly enough, I was talking about Jay-Z.
Well, like Jay-Z, like Alicia Keys, like all of them.
I was thirsty. Yeah. We started talking about drinking baby's blood.
Oh.
And then, sorry. That's actually not at all the conversation I was having. I was actually talking about Jay-Z, but I have to throw that shot in there. Andrew does have a tattoo on the small of his back that says, if Beyonce is the queen, Rihanna is a goddess.
I would get that tattoo though. I say that all the time.
Oh,
do.
okay. I was like, you really tatted that?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yes, he did.
Are you serious?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
That'd be a great tattoo though. Anybody can
I
feel
feel like
free
you
to
guys
use that.
don't have tats.
No, I don't have a single
You guys
tattoo.
don't have tats? Okay,
No.
I don't either.
I have been. I feel like you're in the same boat. Like, there's a part of my brain where I've been wanting a tattoo for like 2 years.
Been thinking about it for a very long time.
Yeah.
Maybe when Mark becomes like full
yeah,
on,
I would let Mark. Shout out Mark. I would let Mark tat me.
Mark Zastro, Mark the Aquarius. He is a
Is he
musician
Aquarius?
as well. He is.
I'm an Aquarius. And
Very
fun
nice.
fact, I turn in like a week or two. You have any like big like ideas like I should do?
For turn what?
My 21st.
Oh,
Should I like go away or like what do people do? Like I kind of forgot like it was
I
coming
know,
up. Should I like go
Don't
crazy?
ask me. My 21st
I went
birthday
to
was a mess.
it
was.
Andrew's
that?
20. No, fuck Andrew.
Can we hear it? Can we
No,
please hear this?
we
story?
can't.
have talked.
Yeah,
This
we
is
talked about it so many
probably
times.
the biggest. This is one of the most talked about. Anytime we have somebody on the show who was there, it comes up. We talk about it a lot. And
I showed up to Andrew's college for his 21st birthday, and I never saw him one time.
he showed up on the Saturday.
That was your birthday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
I was
'cause the
there on your
Friday,
birthday.
obviously. Okay, if you say so.
No, yeah.
Because on the Friday before that, so much happened. You know what? Just make it memorable and have a good time.
What school did you go to?
Fredonia.
It's the biggest party school.
Yeah.
It is the biggest.
Emily
party
went there
school.
as well. She's got a interesting smile on her face right now as she's thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, just have a good time. Get your
yeah.
pals together. The one thing.
I went to a concert on my 21st birthday.
Did you really?
What concert?
Thomas Rhett.
Actually, I could do that because
Yeah,
on my
was fun.
birthday there's actually like Polo G is like performing live in New Jersey. And there's like it's not just like him performing live at this concert, it's like through Concert Crave, and it's like this indoor like I don't even know how many acres it is, like a ton of acres, and it's like an indoor amusement park, like sponsored by Nickelodeon. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
Wait,
it's like been
it's in
popping
New
up
Jersey?
everywhere.
It's
in
a
New Jersey.
yeah, and they have a water park in it.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
they have
it's like-
they have the world's longest like jet powered
Jesus
water
Christ.
slide.
I
It
didn't
just
realize
looked so
that
much
was
fun,
in New
and like
Jersey.
the ad looked so much fun, and it's like on a Friday night, it's on my actual birthday, and I was like looking at flights to like go out there. It's like, oh my god, like I could go, meet Polo G,
Do
and
they
then I could
slime
go.
people?
I don't know if
Gotta
they
get
slime
slimed.
people.
Gotta get
Yeah.
slimed
No.
for the 21st.
No, I could not.
Gotta get slimed.
already
Yeah,
slimed.
it's slime.
That's fair.
No,
But for real, what I would say, number one, if you are going to go to New Jersey with some pals, you should actually drive. It can be more stressful,
I always
but it's
drive.
so fun.
I vacation there every year, so it's not bad.
The most important thing is you should just be around your friends. That's the
Yes.
number one thing.
Yes.
That's
Andrew got
the-
sentimental.
My birthday was the one day every year where all of my friends would come and be at the same place. and
That's
visit.
I actually agree
don't
with
get that.
that. I agree.
Well, because we
I
all
agree
went to
with
different
that.
schools and stuff. Like my,
Like-
Are
my
you saying they were
old
never
friends.
there, or they were there?
They were there on my birthday. Was
I
like the
agree
one
with
day
that. That was my
where we
opposite
all
thing. That's my
planned
opposite.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
see if you can change that around for the 21st.
Well, it has been changed around now, because when I was in like elementary school and stuff, you know how like you had that like winter break in like it was like
Yeah.
in February. My birthday always fell on that week, so
Oof.
literally all of my friends, and we were like literally 10 or like we were younger or whatever. They're like, "Oh, I'm going to Florida.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we're
I'm
on
going to Florida."
vacation.
And like literally no one was there for my birthday, and like that's why I always like hate celebrating my birthday.
Man, that's brutal.
I know.
But I agree with you. Like birthday is you don't even have to do anything on your birthday, but it's the best reason to tell everybody else there's no excuse for them to not do like
That's
whatever
such a
you
good,
Right,
good
want
that's true.
do to
reason.
like yeah. That's what I would say about birthdays. Andy,
Yeah.
Do we need to get out of here?
yeah, we're about that
A little
time.
late for you.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem. We can do it. We can wrap up. That's fine.
I monitor, man.
I know.
Emily doesn't do it. Doesn't do shit.
What would you, man? If Emily tried to tell us to wrap it up, you would lose your mind.
Yeah, I would
So
never
there
listen
you
to
go.
anything Emily says.
Good God. Anyways, before we do go, God, thanks for coming on, Olivia.
Thanks for having
You have a
me. It was
terrific
so much
voice.
fun.
Plug everything real quick where folks can find you and stuff.
Your
Yeah,
music,
so-
your album.
My link to my album is oliviaamorian.herenow.com. Instagram Olivia Amorian. iTunes is literally just Olivia. If you look up my album name, I Shall Not Conform, Olivia, it'll be up there on all online streaming platforms. So
YouTube?
YouTube, it should be up there. Yeah.
But what is your YouTube?
Oh, my
Yeah.
YouTube name, my YouTube channel is just Olivia. But like, it's kind of hard to find me. So like, good luck.
Yeah,
I'm a
they'll,
wish
do
they'll
your
find it.
research.
They'll find it. We'll put a link.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the episode
Yeah.
description as well to
To
all
the
of that
YouTubes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been real.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. It was so much fun.
You've kind of inspired me to reignite my singing career.
Do it.
Now that I know I can just play music over top of my voice, I'm a lot.
Hey, I used to give singing lessons to this little girl, and like,
Probably
gonna need-
same
Don't
skill
doubt
level.
I'm going to need some
I
fucking
don't know.
expert help.
Yeah, she was
Let's
probably
say
a
that
lot
for
better
free.
than Matthew
Yeah.
was.
American Idol. Is that still a show?
Yes.
I'm making a run.
Can I
don't
ask
do
you-
it. I
Is
did
Randy
it. It's
Jackson
not worth
still
it.
on
Oh, that's
there?
what
Not
I.
worth it.
That's what I was going to ask you your opinion on those musical shows and stuff.
Yep, I
because-
did American Idol when it came to Buffalo. I
Oh, okay.
I waited in line since 4 a.m.
When was that? What year was that?
that was
Was Randy Jackson there? He
Nope.
been there
gotta
for
be
none of the
post,
celebrity
yeah. It's gotta
judges.
be post
Nope,
Randy.
it
Oh,
was
it was like they do like
Oh,
a
okay.
2000
screening.
Yeah, 2018. There was
Right,
none
one
of
of
them. It
those
was just the
things.
producers and stuff.
Yeah.
No one really got it from Buffalo. I think like 2 people.
Those shows, man, it's brutal.
Oh, God.
What Carrie Underwood came out of American Idol, but if you look at The Voice, I don't think anybody's come out of The Voice and been super successful.
Yeah, no. Like who came
There's
out
a
of the voice?
there's a David Cook.
David Cook. Yeah,
What's that song? Oh, Jesse McCartney.
no, he was not an American Idol guy.
What's
Adam Lambert. Look at him.
Adam Lambert?
Adam Lambert.
That's true.
Adam
I feel like
Lambert.
that guy. One, he did not win American Idol.
No,
right?
he didn't win, but he like
And
still.
and also like that
went.
guy. That guy is just sick. Like he obviously has
He's
a
awesome.
deeper passion and knowledge about music than certain other folks do.
What the-
Yeah.
Is
Like,
that the
was
guy
gonna be
from
successful
Maroon
no matter
5?
what. No, that's Adam
Adam-
Lambert.
Adam
Or
Levine.
Adam Levine,
Adam
right?
Levine.
Adam Lambert is the guy we're talking about.
Oh.
And he tours with Queen now and does his own stuff.
Does he really?
Oh yeah, you didn't know
Queen?
that? Yeah, Queen, the band Queen. He when he's in Bohemian
With-
Rhapsody, but he's been touring with Queen, singing.
He is Freddie Mercury.
He is Freddie Mercury.
Oh,
But,
I was gonna say, how do you tour with Queen these days?
They need a singer.
Yeah, I suppose too. Time of My Life. That's the David Cook song I was thinking about.
Oh,
Banger.
I don't like that
I
song.
want to sing it bad, but
That's
I'm
the
not
song
gonna.
they played on the Olympics, like for. I don't know. They played it on something. Okay, let's get out of here before this continues. Olivia, thanks again. We
Thank
really
you guys so
appreciate
much for
it.
having me.
Come back anytime.
He's having
Olivia,
a ball.
thank you
Good
so
Lord,
much.
Andy.
Andy,
Thank
I love
you.
you.
I love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.